This is the new GoPro Hero 7 Black, the latest and greatest offering from GoPro, and there's been a lot of hype about this camera. The problem is, most people reviewing this camera receive a nice little care package from GoPro. Now, I'm not saying the reviews are influenced or not genuine, which I'm sure they are, but still. And I'll be the first to admit, after seeing all the review videos on here, I fell for it. It almost seemed too good to be true. I sold my Hero 6 and I rushed to Best Buy and bought the brand new GoPro Hero 7. So the question is, does this little camera live up to all the hype? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Serge and today I'll be reviewing the brand new GoPro Hero 7. Now, I've had this camera for a couple weeks now, and here's my thoughts. First, the build quality. Now, this camera isn't cheap, but the build quality lives up to its premium price. The camera is waterproof without a case, shockproof, and overall feels like a tough little camera. It has the same form factor as the previous couple models, the GoPro Hero 5 and Hero 6. The only thing different is the color. This thing is actually black, and GoPro put a big number 7 on the camera and the frame it comes with. This is actually a welcome feature because there have been some complaints about not being able to tell the difference between the Hero 5 and Hero 6 very easy. With this one, you and everybody around you will know for sure it's a brand new GoPro Hero 7. The outside material has also changed on the Hero 7. It now has a rubbery, almost a suede-like finish to it instead of the hard plastic like the previous few models. This makes it quite a bit grippier and feels a lot more secure in your hand when not using the supplied frame. But there is a couple downsides to this. First, the suede-like finish gives this camera an instantly dusty look. Straight out of the box, this camera looked dusty. This probably won't bug too many people, but I still thought I'd mention it. Another downside to the rubbery finish is it makes the camera stick in the supplied frame. When I try to slide mine out to swap the battery or remove the memory card, if I'm not pushing right in the middle, the camera binds a little bit and sticks. What makes it even worse is sometimes this little gap between the camera and the lens protector catches on the frame, making it even harder to get out. I'm not sure if there's a slight defect in mine or if they're all like this. If you have one of these, let me know if yours sticks when you try to pull it out. And while we're talking about memory cards, with it being tucked in so close to the battery, makes it really tricky for people with fat fingers like me to get it out. Now, this is easily remedied by removing the battery, so it's really not that big of a deal. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the build quality. There's a couple small issues, but being waterproof without a case and shockproof more than makes up for it. Next up is the user interface. GoPro has completely redesigned this in the new Hero 7, and at first, I hated it. But after using it for a while, it grew on me. To switch between camera modes, you swipe. Swiping to the right takes you to time-lapse modes. Swiping it back to the left takes you to video recording. Swiping left one more time lets you take a still image. The internals in the Hero 7 haven't really changed much either. This camera still uses a GP1 chip used in the Hero 6. GoPro did add 1GB of RAM to this camera, which opens up a lot of new possibilities, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But just like the previous models, GoPro Hero 7 can record 4K video at up to 60 frames per second and HD video at up to 240 frames a second for some silky smooth slow motion, and take 12 megapixel still images. The main change from the Hero 6 is image stabilization. The previous camera had pretty decent electronic image stabilization, but with the extra gigabyte of RAM, GoPro Hero 7 takes us to a whole new level. GoPro calls it Hyper Smooth. After trying it out, I was impressed. GoPro's Hyper Smooth works almost as good as in their promo videos. I shot a few videos with my older GoPro and the brand new Hero 7 side by side, with no stabilization at all on the older GoPro and Hyper Smooth turned on the Hero 7. Take a look at the results, you'll be impressed. Electronic image stabilization, or Hyper Smooth as GoPro calls it, is awesome, but it's not perfect. It tends to struggle in low light and you end up with blurry video. So if you need stabilized footage in low light, you will still need a gimbal. Another area HyperSmooth struggles in is camera pans. When you pan the camera, GoPro tries to stabilize it and can't keep up, so you end up with jerky footage like this. There is an update coming sometimes in December that should fix this issue, or at least according to GoPro support. So, is HyperSmooth a gimbal killer like GoPro markets it? Probably not, but it is by far the best in-camera electronic image stabilization I've ever seen. The next new feature I want to talk about is Time Warp. Time Warp is a moving time-lapse, or hyperlapse as everybody else calls it. This is basically a time-lapse video, but instead of the camera being stationary, it moves. And the stabilization in this mode is nothing short of witchcraft. I tried this out on a quick run with a camera mounted on a chest mount. I intentionally left the straps loose so the camera bounced around quite a bit. The video came out buttery smooth. I don't know how GoPro does it, but the results are amazing. Take a look for yourself. My last GoPro, the Hero 6, was horrible at audio recording. When making the camera waterproof, GoPro put a membrane over the microphones. This made the audio on the Hero 6 basically unusable. This time around, GoPro changed the membrane on the microphone, and here's what audio recorded on the new Hero 7 sounds like. This is a GoPro Hero 7 audio test. Right now I'm carrying the camera on a 3-way extension arm, about 2 feet away from my face. There's traffic around me, it's a little bit windy, so let me know how it sounds. Also, let me know how the stabilization looks. Unfortunately, I had to sell my Hero 6, so I can't do a direct comparison, but trust me, the audio on the Hero 7 sounds a million times better. It's still not as good as using an external mic, but it's still pretty decent. If you don't have an external mic, unlike on the Hero 6, the audio recorded on the GoPro Hero 7 is actually usable. So, while not ideal, this camera could be used for vlogging, if you're on a fixed budget. Some other new features added to the GoPro Hero 7 are Super Photo, where GoPro automatically takes an HDR image to give you better exposure range. Built-in live streaming lets your audience watch the action in real time, although you do need a phone with a cellular connection paired with your GoPro. A picture timer, and the ability to stop recording after 15 or 30 seconds. This feature is perfect if you have kids and you want to hand them the camera. Another thing GoPro improved with the Hero 7 is the connection to your phone. Using the GoPro app, you can fully control your GoPro camera remotely. This feature isn't new, but in the previous cameras I had nothing but trouble with it. The cameras wouldn't connect half the time, the connections were constantly dropped, and the video lagged behind about 3 to 5 seconds. This is much improved on the Hero 7. I've had this camera for a couple weeks now, and I haven't had any connection issues. So, does this camera live up to all the hype? Kinda. It's an amazing little camera. The videos recorded on the GoPro Hero 7 look amazing, but then again, so do the videos recorded on the Hero 6 and even some of the newer smartphones. The video stabilization is insane, but I wouldn't quite call it a gimbal killer. It's great, but not as good as a dedicated gimbal. And just like any other camera with a small sensor, the GoPro Hero 7 struggles in low light. If you're in the market for a new action cam, I think it's safe to say the GoPro Hero 7 is the best out there. If you already own a GoPro Hero 5 or older, go ahead and upgrade. You won't regret it. If you have a Hero 6, your decision is a little bit tougher. I upgraded from the Hero 6 and I'm glad I did, but some people would disagree. If you need image stabilization or you want to use the internal mics on the camera, upgrading to your Hero 7 is a no-brainer. But if you have a gimbal for your Hero 6 and you use an external microphone for recording, your best bet would be to save your money. I hope you found this review video helpful, and if you want to try out the Hero 7, I'll leave an Amazon link in the description. Now, it is an affiliate link, so I will get a small percentage of the sale at no extra cost to you. Over the next few weeks, I'll post some demo footage, so if you're interested, check it out. If not, just skip it and come back for my normal videos, uploaded at least weekly. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back here next week.